For most of my life, I've gone to therapy, and I also only recently, it's not as recently anymore, maybe in the past 4 or 5 years, started taking Celexa, which is the brand name of citalopram, which is an SSRI, and I take 20 milligrams every day, and it legit changed my life.
For those who don't know what's an SSRI?
A selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, which means that it works to make sure that there's serotonin left over in the gap between my neurons and the synapse, so that when the cell that takes in the serotonin needs it, there's enough available. Now, long story short, depression is very different in different brains. We still don't fully understand how it works. It's one of those weird things where like drugs were developed and then we go, maybe this is a thing. And then people took them and they kind of felt better. And we're like, cool, it seems to work, but it doesn't work for everybody. SSRIs can actually be pretty detrimental for a lot of people.
And they all affect people differently.
They all affect people differently. Some people like norepinephrine reuptake inhibitors. Some people like dopaminergic drugs. Some people can't find really an antidepressant that works for them. I'm very lucky. I started on an SNDRI, which made me feel like I was on meth and I couldn't sleep and I got suicidal for a few days and it was insane. Like, you know, the commercials say may cause suicidal idea. And then I was like, oh, I shouldn't be left alone. It was insane. And I called my therapist or my psychiatrist and was like, this is horrible. Why am I on drugs? And she was like, stop taking it right now. And then we tried this as the next drug. And I was like, holy shit, this is what it feels like to not be sad all the time.
So when you're manifesting those thoughts, are you looking at your own thought process and going, this isn't like, how is this being manifested and this isn't normal? Or
sort of. And I mean, I'm in a way, I'm kind of lucky that I had the insight to be able to do that. You know what I mean? Because I have at least studied this stuff.
Because
I had a,
like some self-awareness about it.
And also I had studied neurophysiology and neurochemistry and kind of knew generally what was happening in my brain when I took these drugs. And now I know I'm very sensitive to norepinephrine. Like I don't need any more stimulants in my body. Even back in college when I was doing naughty stuff, I love downers. You know what I mean? Like Valium. Woo! Like there were drugs that I would take that I was like, this is great. I feel sober. I can sleep. I wake up the next morning and I feel 100%. And when I would take when I tried Coke, I only did it like twice because I was like, this is horrible. Why does anybody want to walk around feeling like their heart's going to explode?
Right. So it sounds like you're running a little hot to begin with. So like,
not fun.
Knocking you down brings you back towards medium.
Was amazing. Yeah. Exactly. And it's weird because my SSRI I don't feel like I'm on a drug. It was the first time I'd ever taken something where for about a week you're really tired, or at least this was my experience. I was super tired. I was like, I don't know if this is right for me. And then I normalized. And once I stepped up to the right dose, I was like, oh, this is like what other people who don't have depression feel like.
Isn't that crazy when you find... this is on a smaller scale, but I had been spending like the last few years not doing any exercise or taking care of myself, and nothing for my mental health other than like my stressful career of being a freelance, whatever.
Yeah.
And then in the last couple of months, I've been going to therapy and I've been exercising regularly, and I'm like, oh my God, this is how people feel. Like, this is why people feel good.
Yeah.